Hi there, welcome back to the Scorecard, the show where I play a little bit of golf, answer some of your questions, and overall it's just a fun, chill time. So before I get into any of the questions that y'all have for me this week, which there are actually a couple pretty good questions, I wanted to go over what I have planned for this channel in the next few weeks. So I am going out of town next week, so there won't be a video this upcoming week after this one, but the following week I'll try and get something out. It might just be another Scorecard episode because the next video that I'm working on, that's like a pretty big project, is finally part 3 to the minor league football series. I know it's been over a year since I did the first one, but I really wanted to make sure that I got this finale done right. I've already recorded the audio for it, and so now all I have to do is edit. The only thing is that editing takes a really long time, especially for this video when I don't have footage of myself. It's just gonna be a video essay where it's all clips of like football and animation and all that sort of stuff going on. So it's gonna take a lot more editing. So that's what I have planned. It's gonna take a while, but it's definitely coming. I know that there have been at least a couple comments saying, hey, are you ever gonna finish this thing? So I am. That's the next big thing. But anyways, let's get back into the questions. So the first one is, what's your favorite kind of golf ball? And the thing is, you're watching which golf balls I normally use in this video right now, just practicing. That's why I normally use on the course too, is just whatever balls I can find. Like most of those are just like range balls or really scuffed up, like Costco balls or something like that. But the nicer kind of golf balls that I've been using lately are Callaway Super Softs. I like soft golf balls. The only thing is that they get scuffed up pretty easily. And even though they're Callaway, they're not their most expensive premium golf ball. So I've been thinking about maybe getting Vice golf balls because I've heard that they're supposed to be like premium level, but they're not as expensive. And I also have a really tough time losing golf balls, or I have a really easy time losing golf balls, I should say. So I like a golf ball that isn't white because you can lose it in the sky real easy, especially if it's cloudy. Like if it goes through a cloud, white on white, you can't see it. So I like playing with like these bright orange balls that Callaway makes. Vice makes bright red ones. Basically anything that you can see in the sky pretty easily or on the ground pretty easily. Vice also makes like light blue, which I think is probably the worst color for a golf ball because you're just gonna immediately lose it in the sky. But what do I know? Maybe it's not that bad. But yeah, I'm kind of in between what my favorite golf ball is. The next question is, what are your top 3 dream vacation spots or places to travel and why? Well, I think that probably my favorite place that I have been and can actually remember is Hilton Head. My family normally goes up to Hilton Head about once a year, and it's always a lot of fun. It never gets old up there, but it's a really relaxed environment. Like if you've ever been to Myrtle Beach, it's just like a really mellowed out version of Myrtle Beach. Like there's golf there, but it's not crazy town. They have attractions, but they're not like in your face. So there's just a lot of fun stuff to do. The beaches are okay. The waves aren't that great in South Carolina in general. At Hilton Head, they're like really mild. Definitely not as good as like North Carolina's beaches, but everything around the beach is a little bit better. Like there's a lot of good restaurants, good golf, that sort of stuff. So that's probably my favorite place that we normally go to. But I think that the other 2 that I would want to travel to, San Diego, that's where I've always wanted to live if I could afford it, but I don't think I ever will live there. I don't think it's worth paying however many taxes and just all the other stuff that goes on in California. I feel like there's just a lot of baggage that goes with it, but I would love vacationing there. I went there when I was really little, but I don't remember anything about it. And I'm a really big Chargers fan. That's another video I have coming up, is actually a video about the San Diego Chargers, back when they were in San Diego and not in LA. But anyways, I really like the San Diego area, so I'd want to visit there again. And then I guess the last place that I would want to visit would maybe be the Philippines. This might be a little bit too personal. I don't think it really matters. But I am part Filipino, so I have family members there. It's not like I know them though, because that side of the family tree is basically lost. But it's just a cool idea to think that like there are people out there that are related to me that I just will never meet, but just being able to visit that area would be cool, know where a big part of my family tree is from. I think that would be really cool to visit. So those are my top 3 vacation spots. And then finally, the last question is a little bit deeper, but I like deep questions. So if you have deep questions, definitely ask them in the description below. There's a link where you can enter a question in a Google form. But the question is, what do you do when your friend is a little violent and you don't know how to say, we can't be friends anymore, because otherwise they will punch you in the face? LOL, this is actually true. It might sound a little weird, but I would love if you could answer. Well, funny enough, I kind of had a similar situation when I was in 8th grade, going into 9th grade. But all throughout 8th grade, I was friends with this one guy. He was pretty funny. We were in a big friend group, but he was probably one of my closer friends. But he was always like just a little bit more physical than he needed to be. And like he'd say like offensive things. And overall, he kind of just like messed with the chemistry within the friend group. And it got to the point where all of us didn't really like him anymore. But we had been hanging out with him for like over a year. So there wasn't really anything that we felt comfortable doing other than ghosting him and just kind of like ignoring him once we went to high school. Even though we went to high school together, we just kind of stopped talking to him. And I don't think that that's the best way to go about things. I think that I probably made a mistake there. It wasn't the end of the world, but it's like, if you just ignore them and like never talk to them again, that doesn't really fix anything. Like that helps your situation, but that doesn't mean that they'll stop being violent with other people. And I think that in my situation, this person didn't realize that it was annoying other people. I think they thought it was funny. Maybe that's the situation that your friend is in right now. But if they don't realize the issue that they're causing other people, then they're never gonna change. So I would definitely talk to them about it. Maybe don't bluntly say, we can't be friends anymore, I'm not talking to you again. But, have a one-on-one conversation and say, hey, maybe you don't realize this, but I don't think it's funny when you get too violent with me, or like when you punch me or something like that. Like, I don't think that's a joke. Maybe you think that's a joke, but it isn't. And I would appreciate it if you stopped, or at least toned it down a little bit. If that's the only issue that you have with them, I don't think that if they fix that part of their relationship with you, with just being too violent, and they stop being violent, then maybe y'all could still continue being friends. But maybe you've already had this conversation and they haven't changed at all. I think that's when you kind of start to maybe hang out with other people. And that's a sad situation, but as you get older, you naturally will find different friends. A lot of times it will just happen naturally where, maybe you just stop hanging out with them. I don't know how close you are with them, because like they're your very best friend that you've been best friends with for forever. That could be pretty tough to just like end it abruptly. But I've probably had several quote unquote best friends in my life. But it's like, it felt like, at least growing up, it felt like every school year I would have a different person that I would like hang out with every single day. And then it would be a different person the next year. I don't know where you are in your life. But if you are just in like grade school, this is the summer, maybe you aren't seeing them as much in the summer, and it would maybe be easier to find other people that maybe are a little bit more gentle to hang out with a little bit more. But at the same time, don't just like ostracize them, make them feel like they don't know why you aren't talking to them anymore. You don't want anyone to be in the dark, because that's when they start to like question everything that they've done, and maybe that stems into some form of anxiety. So I think that being upfront and honest is definitely the best way to go about these things. But at the same time, you want to be kind because this is your friend, but they obviously have a problem where it's not a healthy relationship. So I hope that helps, but thank you for asking that, because that's definitely not the easiest thing to ask. Just anything with relationships, that's always the hardest thing to ask people. So thank you. I think that's just about it for this video, but thanks for watching and stay safe out there.